Trollhunters Season 3. This is it, everyone. The end of Trollhunters. This is the final season and seemingly the end of the Trollhunters story. So, mild spoilers for Season 2. If you haven't watched the last two seasons, I don't know why you're watching this, besides thinking my videos are awesome. No, just kidding. But you might want to go back and watch them because I am going to spoil things for the second season. Because, let's face it, this is the third season and you can't really talk about it without talking about what's happened so far. So, in the last season, it ended with Gunmar escaping the Darklands and taking over Troll Market. He captured half the population of Troll Market and transformed those trolls into Gum-Gums, pretty much slaves that he controls. And Jim and his team escaped with the remaining trolls and went to the outside world. So this season starts off with Gunmar trying to find a way to bring eternal night to the outside world, and Jim and his team trying to hide and defend the remaining trolls. We're trying to figure out a way how to defeat Gunmar because Gunmar is extremely powerful at this point. And we also have a little bit of a side plot with Claire. And then in the last season, she had to open up a big portal using her staff, and she seemingly got corrupted. And through the season, we see that corruption take hold from the evil sorceress Morgana, whose staff she is using. So, bunch of things going on. Final season, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. There's not a lot of things that I have problems with. There is one thing that I have a problem with, but I don't think it's a big deal. Like I said, if you've been watching the last two seasons, you're definitely going to enjoy this. For the most part, it was a satisfying ending. You know, it starts off building up towards the end to the final two episodes, which is an hour epic finale. Lots of twists and turns and sacrifices have to be made so we get to this end point, and I just absolutely loved it. It was great. From the beginning to the end, it was absolutely fantastic. I just loved it. Great stuff. Kind of sad to see the Trollhunter story end, but this isn't the end we'll probably see of these characters, because if you've been keeping track of this Trollhunters story, it has a subtitle now. They started adding it during the second season. Tales of Arcadia, I believe it's called, because Arcadia is the city where they live in. After this season, it's going to evolve into a different show taking place in the same city. I believe it's called 3 Below is going to be in the next series. It's a series that connects to this, and after that is going to be another series called Wizards. And they're all three of the series are going to connect, and hopefully maybe a fourth and final season with all the characters coming together or something. But the next season involves aliens, which should be interesting. So this is possibly not the end of the Trollhunter story, but like I said, it was fantastic. So I want to talk spoilers, but let me just give you my rating. Like I said, I really enjoyed this season. It was fantastic. Great character development, great moments, sad moments, happy moments. It was a fantastic season. It was a great end. I give this season a 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. 8 out of 10 for this season. Fantastic. I really enjoyed it. So, like I said, a few flaws kind of keep it from a 10, but besides that, it was great, fantastic. If you've been watching the show before, you're going to enjoy it, you're going to love it. So, let's get into spoilers. And I'm not going to spoil too much because, you know, you got to go watch it. Yeah, even if I tell you everything that happens, it won't do it justice. You need to go watch this finale. So, like I said, the show kind of builds up towards the end. So the third to the last episode, Merlin, by the way, they find Merlin, the creator of the amulet that gives Jim his powers. They find him that he's still alive. He was under sleep for thousands of years, so they revive him, and in the third to the last episode, he gives Jim a potion and an option. The only way he's going to defeat Gunmar and Morgana is if he becomes a half troll. So he gives him this potion and says, you pour it into a tub of water and then you submerge yourself and you're going to come out half troll. He's like, it's your choice whether to take this option or yes or no. And Jim, being the hero that he is, decides to do it. So he transforms into a troll, half human, half troll, not like a changeling, just completely half. And he can never become human again, or at least that's what Merlin tells us. And by the end of the season, he's still in this troll form, or at the end of the series. So that's the third to the last episode. He becomes a half human, half troll. And then in the final two episodes, the big hour finale, it's a big epic battle. So Gunmar throughout the final season has been trying to find Morgana or free her. He eventually frees her, and she casts a spell for everlasting darkness. So all the trolls get to go out and invade. So they invade Arcadia, and this big, epic, fantastic battle that I absolutely loved. It's the trolls, Jim and all the troll races and all his friends versus Gunmar, the Gum Gums, Morgana, and it's epic. It's fantastic. Just big, crazy final battle. Like, I absolutely loved it. And Anger Rot makes a return. If you don't remember him, he was the bad guy from the second half of the first season. He was my favorite bad guy. He makes a return this season. Morgana revives him, so he's also there in the final battle. So it's this big epic battle of them trying to defend the siege from the trolls, and eventually it's Gunmar and Anger Rot versus Jim in this big epic fight, and he ends up finally defeating Gunmar, which is this big awesome scene or lead up to it, and I just absolutely loved it. But the final big bad ends up being Morgana, because after Gunmar is defeated, Morgana is still there, and there's still Everlasting Night, and she has all this magical power because she took, I think, the majority of Merlin's power, so she's extremely powerful, and Merlin wants to defeat her to get his powers back because he's weak and he's old, and she's just evil. He's kind of a jerk, Merlin, but he's not a bad guy. So they defeat Morgana. Anger Rot turns on her because he used to be a hero, and they're able to defeat her, or Claire defeats her. She uses the staff to send her into another dimension, and I don't know if she dies there or she's trapped, but either way, her connections to the powers are lost, and Merlin gains all his powers. So that's pretty much the finale. I absolutely loved it. But the ending, the actual ending, like the climax where everything should wrap up, doesn't really wrap up. Like, they free all the babies from the underworld. Like I said, Jim is still trapped in his troll form, seemingly forever. And him and the rest of the trolls, and Claire and Merlin, they go to New York pretty much, or New Jersey, to look for a new Heartstone. And that's pretty much where it ends. They say goodbye to Toby and Arg. They stay behind with Strickler, because Strickler joined them in the end of the last season, and he was an ally throughout this season. And those three stay behind with Claire's mom and the rest of the people in Arcadia to defend it as their Trollhunters. And the rest of them, they leave for New Jersey. Jim, Claire, Blinky, all of them leave. So that's pretty much where it ends. Like, and I felt it was kind of a little bit unsatisfying. I mean, it didn't have to be a happy ending, but it was kind of just, it felt like a season finale. That's why in the beginning I said it's seemingly the end of the Trollhunter story, because it looks like either Wizards or maybe Three Below, or maybe if they have a fourth season that they haven't announced, will end this. Because it's kind of sad seeing Jim go through all this fighting and sacrifice just to, he saved the day, and he's not really rewarded for it. I mean, he's trapped in this form where he can't go in daylight anymore. He can't be around his family. That's his reward. He had to sacrifice to save the day, and it's kind of unsatisfying. A bit realistic, I guess, but not satisfying. So that's one of the things I didn't like. Another thing I didn't like, or I didn't hate it, but it fell out of place. Like I said, they're setting up a couple more seasons, and there's one episode in particular that sets up the next one with the aliens. They introduced 2 new characters. I forget their names, but it looks like they're going to be 2 of the main characters for the next seasons. They're clearly aliens. They act like aliens. They have alien technology. They're surprised by everything, like a refrigerator. What's this? What does it do, So they're 2 characters for the next season. And there's an entire episode that isn't entirely focused on them, but for most of it is focused on Jim and them, taking care of them and their interactions. And they don't really add anything to the episode. They're not bad. I don't hate them or anything. But it felt out of place, like I said. It felt like they were setting something else up, which I kind of didn't like. It was okay. It wasn't extremely in your face, like, hey, new season, new series, check it out, or whatever. But it is what it is. Those are the 2 things that I kind of didn't like. The not very satisfying ending, and then kind of the setup for the next one. I think they just could have had a trailer for 3 Below at the end of the season, and it would have done the job just fine. Excuse me. But that's pretty much it. I enjoyed it. I've been enjoying Trollhunters for, I guess, a while, since it first came out. It's fun, fantastic. I highly recommend it. Like I said, an 8 out of 10. Those are the two problems I had. One thing I do want to mention is the voice actor for Jim, the lead character, Anton Yelkin. I believe that's his name. The series is dedicated to him. There's a thing that says dedicated to Anton Yelkin at the end of it, because if you're not aware, he ended up dying tragically a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I can't remember. His truck or his car brake went off or whatever, and his car ended up smashing him, and he ended up dying. So he didn't finish his voice. Like he accomplished the first 2 seasons, and in this season, Jim, the main character, his voice changes, and the new actor does well, but you can clearly tell that the actor has changed, and they kind of make it make sense in the story. It's not a huge deal. No one mentions it or whatever, which I kind of thought was disappointing. But there is one line that kind of justifies it. He takes a potion. They're like, oh, if you take this potion, it's going to change you, and some of the changes are going to be permanent, and the voice is one of the things. So I liked him as Jim. The new guy does well. It was just a shame. Like, it was noticeable at first. By the end of it, it wasn't a huge deal. But it's just something I wanted to mention. Like, for those who were wondering what was going to happen with that. His voice does change. They have a line that justifies it. And it's not horrible, the new voice actor. After a while, you're just kind of whatever. But like I said, I just had to mention it. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Go watch it. Fantastic. Great show. You know, I can't wait until 3 Below. And hopefully they do finish the story, because I feel like it's unfinished, like I said. But other than that, great. I loved it. Guillermo del Toro, fantastic job. So if you watched this final season, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you thought of the series overall. And if you're excited for 3 Below or Wizards, or you're hoping that they do finish the story. Like I said, I hope they do. I love this, but the ending wasn't completely satisfying. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Hey, if you like this video, we have several other awesome videos you can check out. And again, thanks for watching.